see before, which they did yesterday with Dust 2, and we thought, okay, maybe things will go well here, but it seems like Legacy has Dust 2 in their back pocket as a map that they're pretty strong on because they came back after being down by a ridiculous like 6-1 up against Wildcard yesterday and won 13-6, which was insane. And then up against the Nouns, they did the same kind of thing. I mean, it was actually stronger than that. They were strong out of the gate, and they just kind of went to the finish line on Dust 2. So we're looking at the veto. It did come in. We've got Legacy picking into Mirage. That makes sense because of how much success they've had against Nouns. But then Nouns are picking New, Travis. So that's actually new turf that they haven't played Legacy on before.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because, of course, Legacy in all the games they played against them, they know what Noun's strengths are, right? And they tend to avoid it. And you know, it's kind of interesting because we kind of spoke about this before we went live. Like, Nouns are trying a full 7-map pool, right? Which is tough to deal with. A lot of work you have to do to be able to be, competent on all 7 maps. But the fact that Nouns have gotten Nuke, I mean, they're unbeaten on it. Sure, it's against opposition you'd expect them to beat. I mean, if you look at their results, I think the main impressive one was last month against Wildcard in CCT. Other than that, maybe expected results against Boss. I think probably the better results of the other ones there. But yeah, like, at least it's something different again, like you mentioned. So at least yesterday and today, they are trying different things to try and finally get one over Legacy.
Yeah, and I mean, the last map, if we get there, will be Ancient, and that was the one map they managed to get double digits on in all of their losses. It was 10-13, so it was pretty close. So maybe there is a path to victory here for Nouns, but it is kind of slim because, again, they've only won one map over the last 10 against Legacy. Let's see if they get another one here today, and we're already into the pistol round. Looks like they're playing completely on retake here for Nouns because Legacy's already on the A site and the bomb's been planted. And yes, Carson does have a kit, so they can take their time, be a little more methodical on this attempted retake. George spamming away, sees 2 players. Great flashbang where they triple peek, and it doesn't really work. Junior manages to get a couple. 4v3 and now a 3v2 because Junior and Rush are connecting on the bodies. Only Lato left, and Rush gets the last. Excellent retake from Nouns.
Very nice, and I think the most important thing is that the kit was in play towards CT. It wasn't even necessary in the end, but it was in play with 3 other players, right? So it could always be picked up in case of emergency. But in the end, Junior and Rush, it's probably the 2 most well-known North American players on Nouns that clear up the round. It's very well played from both of them. Junior reacting and doing really well to get 3 kills, considering there were so many players on his screen for a split second. Legacy probably play it correctly by flashing in towards CT as they did, but not to be for them on this occasion. But of course, next round we know they have a buy. Galil's in play, 4 of them at that, and they're going to go for a mid pinch, both sides. Good HEs, plenty of damage. We know Nouns love this mid pinch from short, window and connector, and this time, unlike yesterday, it's working straight away.
All right, well, great news for Nouns, and there it is. The killing blow. Junior is right out of the gate, rocking and rolling to a 3K in both of the first 2 rounds. And Legacy on that force buy aren't able to get much of anything. So this is a extremely positive sign for Nouns. Obviously, playing your opponent on the same map 2 days in a row is often looked at negatively in the sense that your opponent might have the success that you had the previous day. And Legacy didn't care. They said, okay, we're going to Mirage anyway. We feel like we can beat them once more. So far, I mean, they've looked a little silent. I know it's still early. Only into the 3rd round of play. And this nade, oh, this could be good. This could be very good. Yeah, there it is. Barton taken down to 21 HP. George waiting up close with the MP9. And then a follow-up nade finishes off Barton. Rush pops his head up to find the keys. It is all Nouns here on the Santiago, Trav.
Yeah, it's going to be an important start for them. Towards the apps there, actually trying to use their utility. At least they are trying, but he was down to Demau with the Deagle. Demau is a player that I've enjoyed for many years. Of course, not something we spoke about yesterday, but different day. We should make sure we touch on those things again. It's that Demau and Lato duo that has been applying their trade in sort of South American Counter-Strike in Tier 2 for so long, and they've had their opportunities at the big events. Mao is a bit of a gamer, and I've always enjoyed watching him play. I think one of the main ones that comes to mind for me was the event I think we were both at, if I'm not mistaken. It was ESL Challenger Valencia. With,
Yeah, we were, yes.
With Zero Nation, when they beat Furia and really put their names on the map there.
Yeah. That was wild stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed watching Dumao's entire career throughout his time in both North America and South America. He's a solid player, honestly. And I think all of Legacy has I mean, they have a strong core, and they have for some time. We already mentioned it yesterday, you know, that Zero Nation core has been pretty good. I think it's just perhaps a lot of people view it as it's stagnating a little bit, and maybe that's why they moved over to North America to try and mix things up, and so far things have looked pretty strong for them. Here we go, Dumao, we're just talking about him, gets the opener onto Junior, who's been very effective. That does get a lot of space in towards A, and the frags start to materialize for Legacy. There it is, all 4 players fall for Nouns, and it will be the first found for Legacy.
Already showing what they're made of in the gun rounds proper, but thankfully for Nouns, of course, the first few rounds were clean, so buy can come in. Op available for Junior. And I think that one of the main things I noticed yesterday, of course, for Legacy on this map is that everyone kind of had a moment at some point in the game. Soudzin had a really cool clutch. Nekiz had that round where he rushed with the MP9 under, got 2, picked up the AK and somehow found a 3rd. And, you know, Nekiz isn't necessarily the player that Legacy look to for the numbers on this team, obviously. So it makes that sort of stuff all the more impressive. Let's see if Nouns are going to change something up this time. They do have 2 players actually in front of that top con smoke. Play 1 left and 1 right, and the nade combined with the spam. Oh my word,
Oh,
CJ is living a charmed life.
Goodness me, yeah. A little lucky there. Rush going to get the opener as well, but Nikiz finds the trade on him as Russ is trying to get out of those apartments. You see the flashbang thrown by the player at Van, and Legacy have even more of an advantage now with Sadzine connecting on the AWP up against George. 4v3. B site completely taken, and Nouns have to start thinking about a save at this point because they're completely out of position, and yes, that is what they're going to call. They're not going to go for this retake. They do have a player on mid, that's Barton, I believe. No, excuse me. That's Dumao over at mid. And he can hear the footsteps and knows that they're going for this save, so he might call for the troops to come on forward. They don't have as much money either. That much money, I should say, either in their bank accounts, so an aggressive hunt isn't necessarily beneficial.
Yeah, it makes sense just to keep the 4 players alive right now. They are saving in good positions as well, so should be fine. Legacy calling a number of clean moments already in these early gun rounds. You know, they don't need to necessarily rush up against Nouns. They can take their time, build into the series, and they've won the pistol and the conversions. It's not the it's not any reason to panic. Nouns done really well to not just take the pistol, then take the anti-force buy, and then of course the easy eco. Get someone a nice 3-0, but Legacy hitting straight back immediately. Save for Nouns means that they can continue to buy, like you mentioned. Utility will be brought up on CJ and George in a split second.
And you see the timeout called here from Nouns because obviously it's getting a little concerning for them. They did have some early success after pistol round victories yesterday, but then it slowly slipped away and Legacy started to take control once those gun rounds were coming in. So I think for them, they're probably saying, okay, guys, it's kind of feeling a little too familiar for us. Need to make sure we try to mix up our approach on this defensive round because it is going to be a gun round coming through here, and 3 players saving means that the money won't be as bad with a $2,400 loss bonus, but if you lose this, it's more of a half buy that will be coming through rather than a full buy. We need to see something from Nouns. We talked about it so much yesterday, like something needs to change for them to find success against this Legacy roster. Here we go, round number 6. I think for Nouns, maybe falling off that aggression that they typically employ towards mid would be a better idea because Legacy are ready for it every single round. I think that's easier said than done to break those habits as Carson was trying to engage after blowing that smoke away.
Jamal, though, he's up con. Yeah. Carson's giving it a look, but he's up so far. It's up to really the timing as to whether he checks that close left corner as he would look. And of course, they've got just a pinch available, you would think, very soon. With Lato and Palace on the lurk. Sadzin toward ramp. Now joined up with a teammate in Nekia, sorry. Tamao is still lurking around in mid as well, but that's a really important start. Sadzin's first point of contact will get removed, but in comes that flash, and even though Carson can turn away and turn back in time, he's obviously not as accurate because he's pushed his crosshair off the angle, and that's a brilliant catch on Junior as well. Lato will then finally rear his head from Palace, and that is what that roll can do. Get that extra kill that relaxes things, and George stuck behind the jungle smoke with not much to say.
That's tough for Nouns. Honestly, I liked their setup on A. I felt like it was pretty strong, and Carson staying back and not pushing on mid is a good thing to see. He was in jungle. He managed to readjust. They didn't put much pressure on him in that moment, but then he couldn't get his crosshair to lock on the T that was putting pressure on him. So George is going to try and slip away here, probably going to be hurt, and yeah, he realizes that. Dumao and Barton are hot in his tail, needs to fight, wins one, but loses the follow-up engagement. Rush last one standing. Should be okay, unless he charges through the apartments and heads towards underpass where Barton is waiting, which he will not do that. I'd up 3-3 at this point, and I guess to finish off my point, Nouns shouldn't be discouraged about the fact that that doesn't work if you're thinking about on their side the different setup that they employed here, not going for the mid-aggression, stacking up 3 players on A. Yes, you know, Legacy picked you apart piece by piece, but the setup was good. You just have to be a little sharper on the aim.
And often, that is the hardest part, so keep
Yes.
concentration. And get the first bullet accuracy that Legacy looked so good on yesterday on this map, obviously. Rush boosted up with the M4. Probably the best thing that Nouns could possibly do with this. And well, Barton, okay. See you next round. Junior's hit a beautiful shot, and Dumao's kind of pushing through a smoke. And he's pushing through a smoke into 2 players. That is a bit overzealous. Maybe take a sensible pill here, Legacy, and play more from range. But Rush still in play until now. George can pick up the M4. CJ's picked up the AK. So much damage done. Niki's now 12 HP, but look at the health on both of the Nouns players, and the Molotov's going to spread. That feels bad. I think Niki's realises that CJ's pushing up, and he puts a little gap in that left-hand corner of the smoke. Spots him. Spots the aggression, and that is a good recovery.
Wow, that's just masterfully played by Nikis, honestly. Like, he was under a lot of pressure, low HP, throws the Molotov, knows they have to re-peek, and they're probably low on HP because he connected on a couple of shots before George got around that corner. And then George, unfortunately for him, just cannot get away from those flames. They expand quickly, and his life is then forfeit. I appreciate CJ's thought process in trying to get aggressive there, because you don't really have that many options when you're out in the open like that towards mid, but it's just spotted out by the keys, and that's another great thing about CS2. I know we have a lot of problems with CS2, and there are issues that kind of keep on rearing their ugly heads, but the smokes, the dynamics that they have changed, the way they've changed the game, I just wouldn't go back to CSGO. Just Dumao is going to get the opening headshot onto Junior. George manages to get the trade. And then a bit of spam. Want to come through here. Molotov thrown for Cat, but things are going to slow up a little bit for Legacy, I'd imagine, at this point.
Got all that mid control. They are backing away from it with the bomb, though, and just leaving Dumao here. But of course, leaving him here in this sort of position, you're going to be worried about so many separate angles. And he's actually, I'll say, somewhat fortunate to get into a ladder room before that con smoke fades, and maybe he spotted over the top of it anyway. Actually, very possible. Just purely Dumao's presence here could cause George lots of problems. Dumao could even peek into window, maybe catch one. He might be hearing quite a lot of these rotations as well. This is all about Legacy's timing on the play. And even though the rotation here is quite good for Nouns, okay, it's very good if Carson gets a good timing. If he pushes up here, he could have all these players in the apartments looking the wrong way. He gets one for free, but the Orp's now holding the angle. Needs to be wary of that, and he's not. Sadzin will find it, and George, that linchpin that I mentioned, has been removed. It's all CJ on this rotation as a low HP short player, but Sadzin's doing it all, and Rush isn't close enough.
Oh, boy. Well, Rush probably just going to be on the outside looking in and saving this M4. There is a good news for one team that's had a struggle against an opponent repeatedly, and G2 versus Navi. We used that comparison yesterday, and G2 could never find the answer, couldn't beat Navi, BO3 after BO3, and it was pretty consistently a struggle for them. But they won today in the grand final, so they
I know,
got a
right?
win. Yeah.
Maybe the BO5 was the answer. Play more maps apparently is the way to beat them.
Yes.
I watched most of the game, and I gotta say it was very entertaining. And yeah, I think for Navi, sure, it's a shame to finally lose that streak that they've built up against G2. I would still say Navi are the best team in the world, but GT just have that pop-up ability with Nico, Morbs, and Manazi. And Morbs was brilliant in the deciding map to win. On the last map, I should say, to win.
I'm so happy to see that all his success in NA has translated to a top-tier team, because oftentimes we've seen some struggles occur when NA players go over to S-tier teams and compete at that level. But Mob's like transition was absolutely seamless, and I'm so happy to see that success for him. Seeing that you know, the NA side can now have players that will be able to perform, and I'm sure there's going to be others that will come through soon too. All right, let's get back to this game though. Legacy, they got 5 in a row after Nouns got 3 to open things up here. Nouns are going to go for the half buy with 4 MP9s in the saved op here in Junior's hands.
Fast execute, stairs smoke into play, front jungle smoke as well. They are keeping it very simple. It's a good old classic smoke, stairs and jungle and go fast A. You know what, it's working, and poor old George, he's just dropped into the sandwich to try and do something for his team, but he's dropped into, well, death. So that means the bomb will go down. There are 2 MP9s close. Sure, they're able to take risk on a round like this, considering, of course, it's mostly MP9s around here, but they had a lot of players in position and sadly couldn't do anything.
Still,
damage
maybe,
is good here.
Yeah, damage is exactly what I was going to say. Like, still maybe a lot of damage that Nouns could do against Legacy. And look, Carson does manage to get the jumping MP9 frag onto Sadzine. And honestly, going down with those MP9s and taking 3 players with you is not too bad. At least you're punishing the economy a little bit for Legacy, but yeah, they've still got plenty of cash in the tank. So they'll probably be okay for this next round. And in fact, they might be okay until the half ends. But still, you know, it's also about building confidence on the Nouns side, and finding their crosshairs.
It's being prepared by CJ to help out for another peek toward mid, perhaps, but there's a presence being shown already. A balcony molly on B. Sadzin is now waiting for a jump spot into that CT area, but Lato, oh, he's already dealt with Rush, and that could be big. There's lots of space to work with now, and it seems like every single angle that Legacy are holding is working out for a kill. Look at this, surely the stairs player gets taken down too. Nikis just leaps onto George's position, and now they've figured out where Junior is playing as well. It's a nice shot from Junior to hit the wall bang, and he will follow up, but Legacy just read Nouns like a book, it seems, in every map they play.
Yeah, this is just turning into a repeat of yesterday, unfortunately, for Nouns. Legacy, I mean, they're a very fast-paced team. They're not wasting any time going for their executes. So we saw it there again, on to A, the same exact thing that they executed in the previous round. Once more, just picking apart all the pieces. Nouns not really having the answers. And then Lato finds the last onto Junior. That is just, and they're relentless on the hunt too, right? They have the money now, and they're just going right after the jugular of Nouns.
At least, you know, we've already spoken about it with Nuke being next up. I'll be very curious to see how that goes, actually, because obviously in the last 3 months, Nouns have played it 8 times, and they've won every single one, just against not amazing opposition, but for that wildcard match in CCT. So, Legacy, they play it quite a bit as well. They've beaten PA, they've beaten Boss, they've even managed to beat Liquid on it in those Rio qualifiers. So, unfortunately, I just have a sinking feeling for Nouns that 100% record might get broken today, but we shall see. I hope for their sake that is not the case and we get a close series. Another half buy in here for Nouns, I'm afraid. Legacy. We know plenty of streaks happened yesterday. This is now hit 7.
Yeah, yesterday against Wildcard, right? We already mentioned it was 17 rounds in a row across 2 maps before they were finally shut down by Wildcard, and then Wildcard ends up coming back from an 11-4 deficit to win Ancient. Not much to talk about in this round, guys. It's business as usual with Legacy taking care of it. But yeah, I mean, maybe Legacy are ready to go on another crazy run here up against Nouns. It's 8 now in a row today, eventually 9 to close out this half, and this will be, of course, the last buy-up for Nouns to try and get a 4th on the board. But I mean, this CT side, which is usually a strong point for teams on Mirage, has been very, very soft for Nouns outside of the pistol round victory and the conversions off of that.
Last another half already. It seems to have gone pretty quickly, and unfortunately for Nouns, it, in their minds, it's probably raced by. Just feels like 5 minutes ago they were 3-0 up, having bolstered their economy nicely. Can they win this final round of the half? Rush timings his peak toward Palace nicely, but awkward on the second player, of course, having already jumped down onto the site itself. And Lato, long spray. Oh, that's an unusual whiff from Lato. A bit slower today thus far. What on earth is going on in Connector?
What?
Nikis has missed the shot, and he actually allowed the CT to get Stairs' presence. Carson's found Zumal. This is a very weird situation, going back and forth here. Sounds in his 15 HP, should get found, has been found. They know exactly where Nikis is, and unfortunately, it's not like you can go through Murder Hole and plant the bomb on B, because he doesn't have it. He tries to fake the drop down in toward that mid position by landing on the little ledge there, making noise about it, to make Nouns think he's fallen right down. And he's probably going to be coming up Connector and not Jungle. But keeping close eyes on this are Nouns, and they'd have to make a big fool of themselves to let this one slip. Angle being held, great shot, but there should be a trade, and it absolutely will be. They break the streak at the end of the half. You can see it on your screen right now, but Legacy in control 8-4. See you in a minute.
Back and forth, we don't wanna let it go, go, go.
All right, we're back into the swing of things. Nouns salvaging that first half with a round victory on the tail end, but I don't know if I'm still feeling that great for them. It's not much. Legacy dominated for the most part, and then just tried to bully them again onto the A site, and finally Nouns found their aim and were able to connect on the important frags. We go back into it. They did win the pistol round the first half, and the pistol round victory would go a long way here. Oh, Sadzine just clotheslines Junior on that peak with the dualies and even gets the second before he falls. I thought he was dead to rights, but he still manages to get a 2K and keep things very close for his squad.
Carson's being a nuisance top mid here, but he is known about and he could get caught out. He'll be spammed down by Nikiz, and now it's CJ and George to hold off this retake. Time will be an issue, of course, with no kit in play at the moment, but now I think they are somewhat aware of where, okay, I was going to say maybe both players are, but I don't think they realise just yet. They're having to clear out Firebox and everything else, of course, but they have found George. Now it's down to CJ to show his hand. He's done exactly that, but another diffuser's coming in. He's going to have to hit these bullets. It might have to be a knife here if he doesn't connect. Oh, and he can't find it. 10-second diffuser's coming in. He needs to get the bullets, and only just for CJ. I think they would have been actually pretty close on the overall defuse as well, even with that second 10-second attempt. But I think it was required in the end from CJ, and he finds it eventually.
I think if he had just stuck it initially, he had it. He waited a little bit longer because I think they were trying to bait out the peaks, but if he just sticks it and says, okay, you take care of the frags on the other side for his teammate, then I'll take care of the defusal, then Nouns would, Legacy would have had that. So, let's see if Nouns can build up again.
So,
I mean, yeah.
Just going to say, this is the force buy for Legacy. If they can get past this one, Nouns, right, it's going to be 8-6.
Yes.
Big if. And then for Eco, 8-7. So it deserves to be said that that scoreline will absolutely be completely carried by their 2 pistol rounds.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
I was going to lead into exactly the same point, honestly. It's just, it's crazy that it can be that close just by winning pistol rounds. And that's the reality of MR12 and how important those pistol rounds can be. I don't think they won both pistol rounds on either of the maps they played yesterday against Legacy. I think Legacy was the one to pick up 3 of the 4, in fact. Anyway, Carson's going to get one here, and Barden and Lato. Uh-oh, indeed. The force buy is not too shabby. Junior manages to make it a 3v3, but Barden collects another scalp. It's George. He could get Rush as well. He's swinging around. No Rush. The jumping Mac 10 frag is enough there, but he gets taken down to 21 HP on the repeated peak coming through up against Lato, and Dumao and Lato are both going to be backing off towards the A site. It's the right read. They're actually going to check out mid. Lato's checking out mid, and Dumao's going to wait for potentially audio cues to be coming through here as Nouns maybe secure the plant. Dumao's looking around, and uh-oh, Rush gets caught out. Not like this, Nouns.
Oh, Dumao should have heard it. Yeah, they've absolutely heard that. They know Junior's position now towards CT. AK available. MP9 can rush in and take first contact. It's going to force Junior into the open, and he knows that Junior has to peak at some point to make it a 1 versus 1 to try and make it a round more winnable for him. But our point earlier about being carried by pistol rounds is now void because it seems like Legacy are going to rid the opportunity to get another conversion. A great one to take. They played it really well in mid. Once they realised they had isolated one more player up next to ladder, they double peeked from short and ladder. And kind of left on an island there were Nouns with a couple of their individuals. And just couldn't find a way.
I love little details of the bait from Lato. He had no intention. He was ready to sacrifice himself completely. But once he gets across, and jumping across that gap, Junior's forced to peek around to try and take an engagement. And I mean, the player's already lined up on the other side, ready to get the instant frag that Junior's not prepared for at all. Well done from Legacy. Again, they will get a 9th. It's just a shame for Nouns. It feels like Legacy are playing Mirage the way Nouns used to. Finding success with a ton of mid-aggression and just getting into the faces of their opposition. And Nouns, I mean, I guess they just don't know how to deal with the strategies that they have themselves have found success on this map in the past. So we'll see here. I mean, this is a lost cause with just the Glocks coming through. No armor, no utility, nothing at all. Probably going to be a 10th for Legacy. What a shame for Nouns, though, because we kind of expected them after getting that pistol round to convert off of it and find the 6th and 7th, like you were saying, but now to lose the immediate round afterwards on a force buy, this gets even tougher.
I mean, that's very rough from Lato. If there's one thing I would be critical of Legacy so far is that Lato has not looked his normal self. That was very poor tracking. It's like he was having to play Apex Legends or something, because tracking like that is exactly what you need to do in that game. But it doesn't matter. Of course, his teammates are going to be there to bail him out. No worries. It happens. No ecos for you, Lato, I'm afraid. Legacy up to 10-5. And those force buy rounds are just so easy to win sometimes, don't they? I mean, like, so many top teams in the upper echelons of Counter-Strike have so many protocols to avoid those 5-7 MP9 force buys, and they still lose to them. Like, it's just so powerful and hard to get by sometimes when a CT side does something a little bit different and catches you off with a crossfire. No response from Rush in this round, though, to make it a 4v4. We'll miss the flash, unfortunately, and that could have contributed to getting taken down by Sadzin, not really CJ, getting taken down by Sadzin.
Oh boy, that's a nice shot from Carson. 3v3, but he almost gets finished off Sadzin, getting the leg shot on him. Can't find the killing blow just yet. There's a bit of spam from Barton. Barton's exposed, so is Dumao, and Junior gets one, but not the follow-up. Barton manages to find the trade, and that leaves Carson and Rush with only 63 HP combined versus two fully healthy players. The shots need to be phenomenal, and they aren't. Rush can't even fire a bullet. Sadzin, great peek with the op, and then pulls out the USB to finish off Carson, who we knew was lit because Sadzin probably communicated it, saying, I legged someone, and they're still not dead. 11-5 for Legacy.
Unfortunately for Nouns, we know what that means. It's another low investment, unfortunately. Gonna have to be pistols and a bit of util. Let Legacy get to 12 and have to win 7 in a row to save things. It's a shame, isn't it? Right, like just thinking about Nouns' state in the scene. Don't get me wrong, I'm not often on the NA broadcasts, but I keep a very close eye on it. Right, they were kind of the next team up. They were making lots of challenges. They were getting some good, decent results, and now M80 have come out of seemingly nowhere in the space of just under a year to be the premier org behind Complexity and Liquid, right? And sure, NRG aren't making any steps yet, but Nouns, I felt like, could have got there, and, you know, I kind of wish they did.
I feel like NRG is ready to take Nouns' place in a lot of ways. Yes, they're still having struggles in qualifiers, but they're still on my radar as a team to absolutely watch as they're climbing up, and Wildcard surpassed them. Wildcard has just leapfrogged Nouns.
As well.
Yeah. I know. It's just like, and Nouns are, I think the weakness right now is in their IGLing. I mean, Carson has had a lot of time now to kind of find his place as the IGL, but I personally find that he's probably just better as a fragger, and they need to find someone else to fill that gap. Unfortunately, there aren't many IGLs in North America, as Barton's just fragging away here on the Antico. But yeah, there aren't many IGLs in North America that are available and ready to go. Maybe Walco, but I feel like he's on a break right now after struggling with NRG, even though I don't think all the problems were his fault necessarily.
Yeah.
But he's not found a new team just yet, and I don't necessarily know if he will fit this Nouns roster in terms of his calling style. But yeah, it's just,
it's tough, isn't it? Because Nouns have pieces where you're like, yes. I mean, lots of people speak about George as a player that, you know, deserves an upgrade if there's an opportunity in a better NA organisation, one that's higher ranked in the future. And of course, everyone knows the story that Junior's been through in his career. Like, he's been up and down. His form's very good, of course, at this level, but you've always wanted more from him. And Rush is obviously a major champion. You've got great pieces here, but yeah, it does feel a little bit of a shame to me that they've been overtaken by the likes of Wildcard and M80, like you say. Deservedly so for Wildcard and M80. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they've been stunningly brilliant, especially M80. So we'll see how it goes. This round could still extend the game. As a good kill from CJ to get Ekis, but Dumao is fast towards CT and hasn't been taken down that low. It's a 2v2 now in this afterplant.
Barton's got a great spot. I don't think CJ's really that aware of the possibility he could get flanked out here, so he's probably dead for free unless he turns himself around. CJ? Okay, looked at jungle, but now he's spotted. It's over for CJ. Last up is Junior. Hiding behind the smoke. Dumao won't hear him because he's just walking around. Does he spot Dumao? Oh my goodness, the timing. Bomb might explode here. They have to try for the defusal. Good job from Junior. He secured the round. Well done. Hiding in that smoke and biding his time. 6th round found for Nouns. Honestly, all of the bright spots for Nouns over the last couple of days have been Junior. You know, coming out with some highlight reel plays and good patience.
I mean, that was textbook. Like, he realized that that was the one play he could make where they wouldn't expect his position. And spot on, absolutely. Listen, I've been just briefly critical of Nouns, right? Some of their individuals and maybe the lack of progress. But when there's praise that's there to be given, I'll give it straight away. And Junior, as you rightly point out, has been a bright spark in the last couple of days, and that was certainly a perfectly played clutch. And of course, Legacy didn't survive with anyone. Jamal got taken down with that bomb explosion, didn't run away in time. So let's get another one here. Just need to avoid this 5-7. Hang on, there's still going to be a couple of players in position. Got to worry about jungle. I think now things have settled. That Molotov might. Okay, it hasn't. But have a 3v2 and things should be safer now.
I think Sadzine wants to get this op out of the round. Like, they've already given up too much space. And you see him, yeah. Yumao as well. It's just an MP9, but he has to defend his opper and keep him alive if possible. But it will be Nouns. I mean, even though it looked a little scary, Barton getting a couple of frags with the 5-7 from underneath the balcony is probably more than he should have gotten. I think Nouns should have cleared that a lot sooner, but they get out pretty much safely. And after that are able to deal with the remaining Legacy players on the site. So, it will be a Legacy save coming through. I can't say I would be surprised if they go for a force buy because they're feeling pretty confident, but it would be probably better to manage their economy and use this sizable lead to be patient.
Yeah, great. With 2k per player pretty much. If you wanted to force, it would be MP9 still, and that is, while powerful, not powerful enough. And probably ill-advised. Now, let's see, just when the freeze time expires, yes, the sensible pill has been taken. So we'll be just chilling, and yeah, even a round like this is absolutely one of those rounds that could still go their way with the AWP and MP9 in play. They'll get the boost up in toward the ladder room. It did miss the jump originally, but he's got teammates there to boost him. So he's fast ladder. Top mid smoke in position. They're going to break that open with that HE, see what they can see. I haven't seen Sadzine just yet. And they're about to see him. There's a nice frag. And he'll fall away and will reposition to keep himself unpredictable.
That is a problem for Nouns. I mean, they know the op is there or was there, but the fact that Sadzine gets away cleanly and has a chance to re-peek is problematic. Okay, good Molotov thrown. Sadzine uses his smoke just to ensure he can hold this angle repeatedly. And they have a couple of players waiting here on the other side for Legacy, or at least one. It's Nikis, and they're hugging in the smoke. They don't realize it. Oh, Sadzine connects for another one. Oh, and Nikis can have a free one. No, not like this, Nouns. Doesn't realize he didn't see him.
What the hell?
Okay, that is crazy. Rush manages to get Nikis, even though I thought he was absolutely dead to rights. Sadzine's still up, and the problem for Nouns still is that the op is watching the bomb. The bomb is down towards mid. Once they grab it and try to bring it back, they still have to worry about the op, and there's Dumao getting the MP9. This one might be curtains for Nouns. Junior coming out, hoping to connect on something, gets tagged for a little bit of damage, does manage to retrieve the bomb, but in the meantime, Sadzine finds George, and, well, it's over. Sadzine does pretty much everything. 4 frags with the op that's saved over on what was an eco round for Legacy outside of that, and it's 13-7 again for a third consecutive time against Nouns on Mirage.
They didn't need to force buy. They didn't even need to wait for that next round for the guns to come out. I mean, that was just... I said that it could be still a problem if Sadzine gets into position. And to be fair to Legacy, they put him in the right positions to succeed, right? Firstly, the boost in toward ladder. He missed the jump originally, but he had a teammate there. Gets to pick in toward mid. Realizes that Nouns maybe have 2 or 3 players there. Then rotates all the way around. Bomb gets dropped near connector in a really awkward spot. Probably the worst spot that bomb could somehow be dropped, because you've got, what, 4 or 5 angles to worry about to try and pick it up with only 3 players. Constant damage, constant tags, dinks, everything you could possibly think of to ruin Nouns' dreams. We do have a change up in the veto from where these games have gone previously, of course, though. It is Nuke. It's one that Nouns are unbeaten on, but really their only win of note is that one against Wildcard and CCT. So that 100% record, it may go here. We'll see if Legacy can keep that up and destroy that 100% in about 10 or 15 minutes.
weak and old. I carry you, you brighten my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go. I can see your face in a crowd of millions. No one can take your wherever I go. You're in my heart till I'm weak and old. I carry you, you're bright in my soul, making me glow. I carry you wherever I go. I carry you till I'm weak and old. I carry you wherever I go. Wherever I go.
It's when the morning glows. I cannot hide myself from you. It's when my feeling grows. I'm coming back to you. When I step out, when I step out, when I step out, when I step out of the light and come into the light, I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? And hey, do you think I can stay? 'Cause I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? When I'm with you, I cannot sleep at night, 'cause in my mind there's only you. When I step out, when I step out, when I step out, when I step out of the light and come into the light, I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? And hey, do you think I can stay? 'Cause I will be happy, happy, happy. How could I not be, not be, not be? When I'm with you, you, you. When I'm with you, speak to me, your silence spoken. Share with me your heart's desire. Hey, shout it out in words unspoken. Shout it out above. When I step out of the when I step out of the light and come into the light, I will be happy, happy,
All right, we're back here getting ready for map number 2 between Nouns and Legacy. And I mean, look, it's kind of a repeat of yesterday so far, almost like identical. It is, in fact, an identical scoreline, 13-7 on Mirage. But we are at least going to a fresh map, a map that, as we mentioned before the break, has been very successful for Nouns, 8-0. But their opposition has been a little lacking overall. I mean, yes, there is that one from Wildcard that you talked about, Travis. And I would also argue Elevate/Timbermen. They're a pretty good team, but like obviously not on the level of a Legacy or a Wildcard. So there's something maybe to build up a little bit of positivity for now. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, we want to, right? Because we want to see Nouns finally get one over Legacy. I mean, it just purely seems like their bogey team, doesn't it? I mean, they just can't find a way to get one past them. And yeah, Nuke might be a map where you see something a bit different on, obviously, because, 8-win streak, 100% on HLTV. It's always lovely when you see that beautiful 100% show up on the percentages on HLTV. But I know for a fact Legacy, they're good on this map themselves, played it a lot, the individuals played it a lot in previous teams, a lot of experience on it. And, of course, there's that recent result of getting one over Liquid on the map. So, yeah, I think that 100% could disappear.
Yeah, and I mean, they also beat Party Astronauts 13-1, like an absolute battering there. The same to Boss, who actually, I think that might be when they had Fruit Cup. Maybe not. But like Boss with Fruit Cup is a different team, and I think they're a lot more confident, a lot stronger. But before that, maybe not as much. So it depends on what iteration it was. But either way, the Liquid win, as you highlighted rightfully, is the one that we look at and say, okay, that one is very impressive. And I think that it'll still be a very difficult task here for the Noun squad, not to mention that Legacy gets the start on CT side because Nouns picked into it, and their CT side is fantastic.
Yeah. John, I have a very important question to ask you as we get into game. It's annoying me that I can't remember the name of the character on your t-shirt. Can you please tell me?
Oh, Monstars?
I think that's what it is.
Yeah, the Monstars. Yeah, I mean, I don't know the individual names of each Monstar, but like, yeah, it's from Space Jam. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That's why I was kind of, there we go. I'm glad I'm not going crazy. Tell you who is going crazy? Everyone on Legacy, because I mean, to be fair, you might be right in saying Nouns are going crazy too, because it feels like nothing they do is working. They're walking into a headshot wherever they go. I mean, that was just ridiculously clean. The P2000 headshot. I'm not expecting another player to be down to a double door. Ridiculous stuff, man. Legacy, continue the streak.
Carson shaking his head saying, CJ, what's going on, man? Why can't we do this? Oh, man. Nouns. Just going to be on the Glocks here. Junior trying to shake himself out of it as well. I mean, like you said, it's just Nouns can't find a way to beat Legacy. I think they're competitive against every other opponent they go up against, even Wildcard. They've had some success, but just can't figure out Legacy. Dumal gets stinked once by the Glock and manages to fade away down to 34 HP and then finds the frag onto George Sadzine supporting here. Oh, he catches Junior before he can even get down there, and the Glocks don't yield anything at all. Look close to one frag, but nothing. All 5 players survive for Legacy.
Perfect. Where's the mental of Nouns right now? I bet there's probably something going through their mind, like, why the hell is this Legacy team in North America and not in the South America qualifiers? It's like, obviously it's down to where you're based, but yeah, it must be frustrating for some of the NA teams to have to deal with Legacy considering how good they are.
Yeah, no question. And I mean, like, we saw them try, like, just you can tell by the movements in the server, and Nouns I think they're doing their best to stay positive in this situation and trying to keep themselves in the right mindset. But as it stands, Legacy continue to kind of bury them into the ground. And you see again here, opening frag found for Dumal. He takes a ton of damage in it, so he's only at 5 HP, but still, I mean, that psychological element of having the 5v4 is already an advantage for this squad, and Nouns on the other side are thinking, man, we cannot find an opening frag.
Smart play from Lato. Bit of a safer jump spot there. Very hard to get just straight up dome to the corner of the door like that. I think maybe even a dink would only do damage. And the boost up on ramp, completely unexpected. But actually, good patience there from Carson. He doesn't reveal that he's a second player wandering beneath the crosshair. And CJ wins that duel toward Lato. So 3v3, 45 seconds, B site taken. And as we know, hard to retake for Legacy.
Legacy's in a position to go for the retake. Nicky's going to go down to those double doors. Barton waiting at decon. But when they strike, a lot of util. 3 nades available. They're going to expend 1 here, maybe to break the doors. Can't really tell as that smoke is up. Yeah, doors appear to be gone. Now they're going to be charging through. Nice shot from Nikis. Gets traded out immediately, but now they know where Carson is, so they can double peek him or wide swing him twice. And, well, they don't do any damage at all to him. Carson staying alive, and the bomb is taken away. Not much time left for Legacy to get the defusal, but they do manage to get one at the second Sadzine. Unbelievable stuff in the clutch, and Barton sticks the defusal while Sadzine is working his magic. 3-0 for Legacy.
Oh, just the USP headshot at the end, man. It's like... It's such a sinking feeling for Nouns when that comes through. Because, like, okay, he's out of bullets. Oh, I can push forward. Maybe I can deny the defuse. And bonk. See ya. Next round. It's just ridiculous.
There was so little time and room for error, too.
Yeah.
Legacy and Sadzini still gets me. It's nuts, man. Another gut punch for Nouns.
Yeah, the buy is weird as well, of course. They want to try and make something happen, so they've gone for a hero AK on Carson. Oh, Nickies will deal with it. And that is probably the main risk dealt with. Of course, sure. There's,
hold on here.
lots of pistols down toward B, and they've got utility to maybe assist a plant. 3 are going to be working their way through double. Sadson moving up. It's working his way into a nice position, but it's cleared beautifully by CJ. 4v4 with Necky's low, bomb down. Unfortunately, there's no way to pick up that rifle, but there's another headshot. Playing that tight headshot position was George. Works out against him out. In comes the Tech 9. They're playing more aggressive,
What?
and George gets it all done. That's what I want to see from now. Some pure headshots with whatever they have. And Rush will even get the last as well. Well played, George. Nouns are off the board.
Yeah, and a great flashbang thrown to support George because both players couldn't see a single thing over in ramp room. And honestly, Legacy didn't play that well. They kept kind of going for individual fights without waiting for the rest of the team to join in. So you lose the first 2 players, each trying to make these hero plays. And Nouns are like, okay, we're happy to take these fights. We can obviously overwhelm you with numbers and get some nice shots off. And of course, you know, George at the end taking care of business. Yes, it's one thing to get a nice flashbang. It's another to finish the job. And he does great work, honestly. First round found for Nouns. Still a very tall order for them to get back into this series, but that was at least a convincing one where they had limited firepower available. Now they have a lot more. Got 2 AKs, 3 M4s. Barton gets the first frag, though. George walks to his death, and Barton is position known, but there's so many crosshairs here. Oh my good. Barton gets it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get hyped up for Nouns a little bit here, but that's just rough. I mean, they're not even looking up. They're going out when they know that Barton is there. You have to at least clear him. No one did.
They got down to a B again. Carson is convinced there's more to come. And Junior, okay. There is still a way back into this purely because of that fake from Carson. He knows Junior's in a fantastic position to cut off those vent rotations. Legacy choosing vent means that he eats up 2. Of course, really low now. But Carson's going to have so much space to work with, but it might not even be needed because Junior is dealing with everything. Sadzin's still here, though. Junior, is he aware that he's on the site? I think they may have heard him because they're herding that bomb back away toward B. It was being brought back toward Trophy and toward Lobby, but no longer now. Junior's work is finally done. He gets 4 kills in this round. Carson's fallen off the ladder and made a sound cue. It never rains, but it pours. How on earth has that happened? Sadzin's waiting. He's going to hear him making his way through, but he thinks he's A. No, he doesn't. He's going back again. I'm going absolutely crazy right now. Door open. Bomb will go down. Just gets away, Carson, onto an off angle. And now it's a standoff. He can maybe right-click this flash and peek behind it. He tries to go for it, but Carson stands his ground. And and somehow Nouns have won that round.
That is ludicrous. Junior again with a highlight reel round. 4 frags coming through. Saves the day for his team that just walked into the open arms of Barton 3 times and did nothing to really challenge him. And then gets a 2K. Honestly, just continued to maneuver to find the next 2 was ridiculous in itself. And after that, Carson, I mean, usually, under most circumstances, you look away from that flash because you're just going to play anti-flash and hope that you don't get killed. But he just holds the angle and doesn't look away. And that's why he wins the duel. So finally, a couple of positive rounds here for Nouns. Even though, I mean, there were mistakes that came through in them, but they found a way to win. And Junior is, again, seemingly the player that helps that happen. Okay, Barton opening frag with the pistol. George manages to get a trade. Carson helping his teammate get things back into control. But 3 players in Raptors, not something you usually expect. Sadzine and Accused should be dealt with here. Even though they've gotten 3 players, Sadzine around the corner position has to be known. There it is, Junior again, finishing the job. 2K for him. But they lose 3 players up against pistols only.
Again, Junior's really putting his best foot forward in the last couple of days of play for Nouns, even though it's been not really hugely successful. Of course, they're always going to win against the Mexican team that came through the open qualifiers. But, yeah, that 4K, that quad kill to give Carson a chance was very clean. And the way it came through was impressive. And the following, of course, are rewarded with that purchase. Now this buy can come in for Legacy. They are putting in a timeout to decide exactly what they want to buy, how they want to go about it. Sadzin maybe was considering to go for a glass cannon AWP. He decides on full util with his M4 instead. Close rounds thus far. Nouns have got a lot of progress, and I should be quite encouraged, I think, with how this has gone so far. Legacy were pretty solid early on, and they won a couple of those close rounds, especially with that defuse, right, and on the lower side. It'd be a bit awkward that Nouns couldn't find a way to deal with that one, but you know what? They are in the game thanks to some great individual performances, and if this round goes their way without any saves for Legacy, you'll have a good stronghold of this T side. Ouch.
Oh, that's tough. Immediately through the smoke, Rush gets dinked down to 23. And I mean, Nouns, it feels like they just want to go for the straight fight onto A. And winning this round with just a straight-up duel would be a powerful statement for them. Lato falls in towards Mini. Oh, the timing on the smoke is off. Lato gets the frag. George managed to get the trade, but Lato up for a second one. And it's back and forth we go. 3v2 as it stands in favor of Legacy. Nouns have gained control of the A site at the very least, but I don't think they feel comfortable enough to go for the plant because a player could pop out through heaven, and that's exactly what was materializing before CJ and Carson fade off into ramp.
A disadvantage, they could wrestle back. Sads is making a lot of noise, but smartly shoulder peeks it. So they're aware of the situation, Legacy. And the main thing that obviously we've touched on is just the utility level. CJ and Carson have nothing left in this one. They have to win these aim duels straight up, playing smart angles. We've already got the ramp player playing in that area, and that is exactly what you want, especially to have another player close up. But somehow Sadzin reacted it with CJ. CJ pushed deeper because he thought he caught Sadzin off guard. Again, they wanted to try and be assertive when they're considering they were a man down. I appreciate that, and they didn't go about it too badly to begin with, but CJ has fluffed his lines, I'm afraid, and that is the main thing that will catch them off guard.
Yeah, CJ could have had that one. There was time available to him. Carson actually played it pretty well. I mean, getting that first one, it felt like he could, even find the follow-up. But CJ, even though the peak was good, and I felt like Nouns were playing it well enough without having that util in hand, it's Legacy that come out and win the day with 2 players surviving. So they end the round win streak for Nouns at 3, and they get their 4th on the board. And you're going to see, because of that win streak, they do have enough money on the Nouns side to get a decent buy-up. A very good one, actually. 4 AKs. Maybe Rush going to have to settle for a Mac 10 or something. Or no, he gets bought a Galil. So this is actually turning into what will be a round that Nouns should be able to compete in. Just feel like we need to see a little more from them on the gun rounds, as usual.
Seems like they do seem to relish mad rounds more than the
Yes.
normal rounds, you know?
Hmm.
It's a weird thing. And of course, obviously, I think one of the main portions of their gameplay in general as a roster is finding how they want to play their defaults out. I think Adren, obviously their coach, has been very insistent on figuring that sort of stuff out for them and playing out slower rounds rather than just be a bit of a puggy team. But sometimes when it goes back to them being a bit more puggy, playing the faster rounds, it just does plainly seem to work better for them. It does seem to fit their style a lot better. And the fast A play will work in the following pretty nicely. It's cool with not a huge amount of utility, but enough. Nick is still here. Jordan's on a double take. There was a possibility of a third. It could have maybe set Dumao up. He is close, but I'm not sure he's close enough.
That's a really nice play from Nikis. I felt like the third was going to materialize. He has to know that CJ's here. That's Dumao because of Nikis. But Garrison holding the angle. Doesn't get it. Oh, no. He overlooks CJ completely. Pulls out the util. I think he was thinking about smoking the bomb and going for that diffuser, or at least faking that situation. But he doesn't get to do either of those things. And now it is going to be Nouns back on the board with the fourth, although it was a very shaky win. I was about to say, oh, wow, they got a really strong win on the gun round. It's looking great. They build up some confidence, but Nikis changes all of that with a couple of frags and shots from his rifle. So, Legacy, on this one, go for the force buy. I mean, didn't have to. Could have waited and saved some money, but instead, they want to get these MP9s up, and they get punished immediately. Rush with a 3K. Barton only gets one in that mix, and Nikis and Lato are the last two standing.
Now they could have some control. Finally, economically. Just need to get past these two MP9s. Rush realizes what's coming and tries to take the initiative, knowing that he could just get pre-fired on low HP. And to be fair to him, he does good damage to help out Junior. And now they know where Lato is, despite him taking Junior down. So, Don can be safely herded down toward the lower site. Utility available to block off every single sight line. Lato is not close, and he can't really go for it, I would say. So, this is the closest Nouns have come, feels like, in the last couple of days, to really cause Legacy problems. I mentioned Nouns 7-map pool. It's definitely a plus to be able to at least play all of the maps rather than have a solid perma that you always go to. And this is their strongest. Can they use it to the best of their ability? They're already shown some good moments to recover tough situations. And now those tough situations are on Legacy's plate.
I think the bomb could potentially take George out here. Needs to get the heck away, and no, he's not going to get away. He's dead. Oh, he actually does. Does he survive? I thought he was done.
Almost got blocked by CJ. Lato actually is the one that died.
I think CJ blocked some of that damage. I didn't even know that was a possibility, but he does. So
I'm not sure if it is. I think that's just lucky, honestly. That
maybe
blocking. When I said blocking, I kind of meant like he got in his way when he wanted to back right into the corner. Jack thankfully just got back into the corner in time.
You're right. That could have been it. I've seen players all the way in that corner and die to the bomb, like with that type of health. So
maybe they have armor. Could possibly be the case.
Potentially, yes. Anyway, either way, Nouns do find a way to victory, and everyone dies on Legacy. But still, it's only 2 players left alive.
Yeah, that's what I tried to save. You know, when we were talking about all of that, and he actually was a long way away. Did you see where he was like pretty much in T-spawn?
It's ridiculous, yeah.
And he still died. So. It's a shame they are not going to have anything to play with in this following round. But now need to be careful of a pistol swarm.
Now it should have a free plant. There we go. Junior the headshot onto Sadzine. This round should be straightforward. Nouns need to come out of this with more than 2 players surviving, and yeah, now it's looking much better. Junior headshot onto Dumao. The remaining Legacy players don't have much to save. I mean, a P250 and a Deagle, so they're just going to go for frags, and nothing happens. Finally, Nouns get a relatively clean round victory, and it's 6 for them, and this is actually excellent news. I was going to say a few rounds ago, if Nouns can keep Legacy from getting a lead into the second half, it'll look pretty good for them. For a chance to take this map and send us to Ancient, because of how many rounds Legacy pick up on their CT side and how much they rely on that. Not to say their T side is bad, and oftentimes, you know, they're playing on CT side first and then just trouncing their opponents and not really getting that many T rounds in, so that's also a factor, but still, I think this is potentially the best half that Nouns have played against Legacy. I want to change that. It is the best half they've played against Legacy over the last 2 days.
Let's see if they can confirm a lead on the half.
Yes.
At least. Latto will already deal with Rush. They are trying to make a play out of A. There's a lot of utility in play this time. It's not just a pure out contact push, and that might be their undoing. Junior gets one back, but Latto's done a fantastic job at getting one of his own. But hang on, what is going on here? It should be a trade for Carson, and somehow they've wrestled this back. Legacy being a little bit lackadaisical, perhaps. Dumao is down toward B. He's maybe hoping that Carson will think there's a player already here, just bails out towards the lower side, but now he's playing the long game, and you know, why not? He's got a whole minute to play out this 1v1.
Yeah, I think it's very intelligent on his part, just kind of clear everything out, see where that final member is. If they're nowhere near the A site, he can just go for the plant and feel a lot better about it. And I think he's pretty much confirmed that. Now he's going to go and clear out Heaven, which is the final step in his play. And perhaps by this point, Dumao works his way up ramp and says, hey, what's going on? Is he over at A? Is he coming here? And yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Carson knows that no one is Heaven right now. There's an opt down, tempting perhaps, but definitely the AK is the better choice. Now he's going to jump down, get that bomb planted. Dumao heard that. Uh-oh, Carson's in trouble. He thinks no one's there, but they are. Dumao finds the frag, and Legacy will get a fifth, but it was tough. And I mean, Junior, again, almost helping his team get past the post here in the round.
Yeah, he was kind of ghosting Carson the whole way there, wasn't he? It's kind of funny, they were pretty far apart for a long period of that 1 versus 1, and in the end, Dumao was right behind him, a lot closer than Carson was expecting. Peekaboo from Heaven, and get sent into hell. Final round of the half coming in for Nouns. Thankfully they've still got money to continue their purchases. Legacy looking to even this up on the CT side. One thing that I wanted to check actually before we finish off this final round of the half is just percentages, and obviously you'd expect the win rate to be a little bit better on the CT side for Nouns, and they do have a 69, almost 70% win rate actually on their CT side. Obviously very good because they played a lot of teams they should be expected to beat. So going on to CT, maybe you'd expect them to get this one over the line. 6 T rounds does feel like it could be enough, but for Legacy, sometimes you just never know when they're going to pop off and break your economy and really get back into the game. So we'll see.
Well, indeed. Now, a very good spot to punish both George and Rush if they overlook him, and it's a bit of an off angle. Nouns just wanted to throw that one piece of util. Oh no, look at that. George catching off the keys, who tried to push in towards lobby, and now some damage done, but Latto does manage to get the trade on forward against Junior. Unfortunately for him, he is low, and Rush immediately swings around and finds another. Back and forth we go though, and it looks like both teams are wrestling for that edge, and Nouns should get it, maybe? Sadzine waiting over in Heaven with the AWP, but he will be the last one standing for Legacy. Tries to find a way to take a shot, but won't do it. 7-5 for Nouns as they take a lead heading into the second half of Nuke.
That same old feeling. Don't know what's right or wrong. Searching for meaning. I've been thinking about it way too long. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. down to your inner voice, yeah. Things seem misleading, just until you stop and make your choice. So whatever you long for, don't give up along the way. Just don't give up along the way, you know, and cherish the moment. Come on up and just let go. Come on up and just let go. Let it 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 go. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful life, don't you think? It's a
We're back here. Nouns finally have a lead heading into the second half against Legacy. Let's see if they can convert and get the victory. Legacy much stronger on their CT side, but T side is also no slouch for them. And I think particularly against Nouns, like that fast pace they have, Nouns really don't have an answer for it. And we'll see if that repeats itself here on the pistol round. But George with two quick ones to the heads of Sadzine and Dumal, making it a 5v3, but everyone is low. And Rush gets a TK, then Barton and Lato get two more. It looks so good to start, but it's fallen apart.
Okay, Rush, hang on, he's still alive. Needs to hit an instant tap on the second though, and yeah, not to be. Button will take it, and that was actually really rough, right? Because you know they had that P250 with the Kevlar outside. Shots were being missed, and he had opportunities to get the two first picks on the sort of air vent player, air convent player, and the main heaven player. Those particular shots are so tough to hit with the P250, even though obviously you want the range. And I thought, okay, this is all said and done, and Nouns looking in a very good position. How that team kill comes through, I don't know. Very awkward. Player running across his screen, unfortunately. Teammate trying to help, perhaps. And unfortunately, it goes very, very wrong.
All right, well, timeout's going to expire here. Legacy wanting to talk things over heading to the second round. Maybe saying, okay, are they going to force, guys? What do you think? And, I mean, the answer, of course, that we know is that Nouns are, in fact, forcing with 3 MP9s and 2 5.7s. On the Legacy side, they've managed to get 4 Galils and an AK. It's still going to be tough for Nouns. Not undoable. But I feel like Legacy, like I mentioned, on their T side, have been so potent against Nouns, and Nouns haven't really proven to us that they can defend effectively against this attacking side. All right, Barton charging all the way out, and I mean, I think Junior might have heard some footsteps. Obviously, he's not peeking around, and he's given the information to his teammates saying, guys, it's probably going B, and there are 3 players rotating down in that position to try and respond here. Rush sees the smoke up that I believe was thrown by his teammates, and Legacy actually double back now. We'll see if Junior can strike at the right time from Credit Card. He patiently waiting for his opportunity to pounce.
Junior will get his one, but it was only ever going to be one. They have got a 3-man push through Secret here. Sadzine will be waiting for it. Oh, he does so well to get 2. He does really well. I think Khalil will be recovered, but of course Dumal still on the further back position outside. Legacy have had all the right default angles once they've got all that outside control to deal with whatever Nouns threw at them. And they'll be back even again at 7 apiece. 4 spy cancelled out.
All right. Well, pretty Pretty strong start for Legacy here on their T side, as was the case for Nouns as well. They were on the attacking end. Nouns, only USPs. Probably going to go for a bit of a gamble stack or some aggression here. In fact, not really. I mean, they got a player outside and CJ, there's no chance at all. Barton converts on the second, and this is probably non-starter. I say that, but Rush has managed to get a headshot onto Dumao, and now Legacy doubling back up going to Secret Junior. No, nothing for him this time. Rush managing to recover that Galil, but still only 37 HP.